Ready.
Okay.
Oh. We are off to a mystery destination to go for a walk. We started having date days on weekends. We take turns every alternate week to plan a date and have it be a surprise as much as possible. Doesn't have to be that grand. Can be as simple as a walk. And you know, it was actually your parents that gave me the idea to do this.
Really?
They told us, I think it was like 2 years ago when we visited them in Portugal, that they have these non-negotiable coffee dates.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sure they said it was 4:30 on a Friday because it really stuck with me when they spoke about it, and it made me think, damn, we've been married for what, 3 years at that time?
Yeah, we don't really, like before that, we didn't really, well, every now and then we'll make plans to go do something, but it wasn't really a scheduled, I don't want to say scheduled thing, but it wasn't really like that often that we didn't prioritize it. Maybe that's the
Yeah.
way to put it.
We really did not prioritize, but we are now. Took us some time. It took us, what, 1.5 years to make it a priority since we heard about it, but at least we got there. Okay, I'm gonna do the bulk of the talking now because you need to pay attention to the road. Okay, so we're off to a mystery location. Are we getting any clues about where we're going?
It's a forest.
A forest? Ooh, okay. That sounds nice. Sounds nice. Okay, so you know how I love asking really deep questions at random times?
Yes, always.
This is one of those times.
Go ahead and ask.
I'm just waiting for us to cross
Those people.
safely. I feel like this is referring to when our life comes to an end. We get to cross safely. Okay, we've crossed safely. So the other day I attended an event. It was a book launch event for an author. His name is Dr. Arthur Brooks, and he is a professor and a researcher and a writer, studying and teaching what it means to be happy in life and how to find meaning. And the book that he is launching in just a few days, it's called The Meaning of Your Life. Pretty sure that's what it's called. So this event that I attended, it was 5 hours long. I don't think I've attended okay, I have attended like a 6-hour event a few years ago, but it's been a while since I've actually willingly sat down for such a long event. But it was a really meaningful, pun intended, event that was worth sitting down for. And he asked 2 questions, and I just could not really think about the answer while I was in the event, because I just felt like these questions are a bit too deep to try to rush a response while sitting in on this call. So I wrote those questions down, and I thought it would be cool to think about it and share it with you, because it's just nice to have someone to share it with.
Okay.
I mean, self-reflection is nice, but it is kind of boring if it only ever stays with yourself. And of course I'm going to ask you to answer these questions as well, but you don't have to do it right now because you are paying attention to the road. But I thought I'll answer it, and then when we're on our walk you can answer it. So the 2 questions are, why am I alive? And for what would I happily give my life? So these are quite deep questions. Like, you don't just greet someone in the morning and say, hey, why are you alive? Like,
Although you would.
although that's something that I would do. But it's nice to take just a few minutes out on the weekend to think about this. And why am I alive? What I always thought for most of my time on this earth, which was like the first 30 years, was the reason why I'm alive is because my parents made the decision to have me. Like, it was because of their choice that the result was I was born. And I actually was very unhappy about that because, yeah.
I'm just sorry I'm interrupting you, but just to clarify with your answer.
Yeah.
That's obviously everybody's result. Like, their parents make that choice, and we are, even me, every single person. But do you say that because you felt like you didn't have your own specific reason you felt to be here? Like, there was nothing like unique or that you were passionate about in life that stood out and said, okay, this is my journey, this is my goal,
Yeah.
this is the reason.
Yeah, so it felt like the choice was taken away from me. But that was like before I started personal and spiritual development.
Okay.
Before I got into this world of expansion and awakening, I always thought that it was not my choice. And so I was really unhappy about it because there's a great deal of suffering in this world. I've had a great deal of suffering myself, being an extremely sensitive person, which I've come to realize is actually a gift. But when I was not aware of how it can be used for good, just most of my life, it actually felt like the greatest burden. And so I kind of blamed my parents that the reason why I suffer so much is because they chose to have me. And if the decision were up to me, if I could have made a call at the time that I was being conceived, I would have opted out. But now that I've done more learning and growing, my understanding of why I am alive is because I actually chose to be here, which is funny. I was angry because I thought that it was not my choice, but in a way it was. That is what I am now choosing to believe, that there was a part of me before being born, my soul, if I can call it something, that decided that it wanted to have this experience on earth, and it chose the very unique challenges that I have been not so happy about. It chose everything. It chose to connect with you. It chose to have the massive life transition that I'm having right now. And I'm referring to it as it. Because I don't know what else to call it. It doesn't have a gender.
But it kind of applies to what you just, like, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's the same as, how can I put it, your journey to understand what your purpose is here in life, the same way as you explained it now. Nobody really knows that until a certain point. So everybody can be really upset and be regretful and remorseful about their journey in life and the things that they've experienced until they actually get to a point and realize what it's all worth.
Yeah.
What the reason behind all of this is. Even if it's just one thing in your life that all concludes to or results into, it kind of makes it has to happen in that way for it to make sense in that moment. Whenever that moment happens, whether it's you're 15, you're 30, or you're 60 years old, that moment somehow has to happen first for you to realize what is the main reason, what is my purpose here. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, it does. It makes sense. Even though there's no instruction book that we get when we're born, it does make sense that part of the life experience is to not know why we're here and to like resent it like I did if it's been hard, and then if we're lucky we get to have the experience of learning more about why we're here, because I don't think everybody actually has that opportunity. These types of questions I feel like I'm the first one in my family that's asking these types of questions, or at least I'm the one who's expressing it externally. Like if anyone else is thinking about it, they're not saying it.
Yeah, I think that is true. I don't think everybody always gets that opportunity, but I also think it has to do with the person that you are. A lot of people might get that opportunity, but because they are very cut off or not emotionally connected to themselves or open to connect in different ways that they are not comfortable with, maybe they will just reject that opportunity, and it will just fly past them, and it won't mean anything in their life.
Yeah. Okay, so well, that was quite a heavy question. The next question, for what would I happily give my life? This was a very easy question for me, and that is you and Todd. And
Who's Todd?
Todd is our cat. And like for a few seconds I considered, would I extend that to other family members and friends, and I'm choosing to just keep it like restricted to just you and Todd, because if I were to extend it, then it feels like a really big responsibility to say that you would give your life for so many amount of people. I just don't feel comfortable with like expanding my energy in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and it doesn't mean that you don't care for other people like you do with me and Todd or whatever, but yeah, I get what you mean. It can almost feel like a burden at times to feel like you are protecting or living for so many people.
Yeah, and like there definitely are other people that I would want to happily give my life for, but then there's also that conflicted feeling of I know the suffering that they are experiencing in their life, and it's so not, it doesn't sound right that I'm saying this, but like if their life was at risk, would it actually be better if I said it's better for them to go than to stay and to suffer? It's not up to me to make that call, but I don't want to say I will hold you back from leaving. I'll take your place. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Okay. So yeah, it was just those two questions. There's many other deep questions that you can ask yourself, but these were just to give you an idea of what is the meaning of your life, because that's the whole point of what the book is about. So I guess he was just simplifying it by asking those two questions. And if you can answer these two questions, you have passed. That's his definition of pass. If you can answer it, doesn't matter what the answer is. And I know I critiqued my answers a lot, but the fact is I answered them, so it's good enough, and that information is enough to give you an idea of what is the meaning of your life. Why are you significant, and why is your life significant?
And then that leads to you defining or identifying rather your source of happiness and how to pursue it.
I guess so. I guess
because I think it's almost impossible to be completely content with your life and happy in general. I mean, obviously you can do things that'll make you happy temporarily, but to be consistently and to get long-term happiness, you can't really do that without knowing what is your meaning and what would you gladly stop this life for.
Yeah. Magic forest. I wonder if there's a reason why you chose this forest and this name. Like, it's like magical.
It did stand out for me, and I thought you would like it.